Okay, what the fresh heck is going on here, ladies and gents? I'm Divik. Welcome to something actually very much different. Now, I've jumped into a custom match just for this opening bit, but there have been a lot of reworks as of late, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to list off my top 5 favorite reworks. Now, first and foremost, I will not be picking all 4 of my mains that have gotten reworks, and this is also why I picked Warmonger for this opening clip. And I've decided to make this video just because I think it would be fun, and I wanted to try my hand at making more interesting and unique videos that I haven't really tried before. So I'm going to start with top 5 reworks and do the same thing for our survival soon. So yes, you'll be seeing a console arc here pretty soon. Again, so get hyped for that. But yeah, top 5 reworks. Now we'll be looking at them as, you know, as how effective they were, what I think of them, and me just trying to be as positive as possible. Because I mean, a lot of the characters that got reworks, I'm not a big fan of. So obviously, I'm going to be as nice as possible here, point out the positives for each character, and try not to be as negative as I usually am whenever I face these characters in actual Dominion. So, without further ado, let's just jump right in and do this thing. Okay, up at number 5, Warden. Now, Warden is an interesting case because honestly, I don't main this character, but he is still pretty fun. He is like the starting character for pretty much everyone. This is the first character that you would end up playing with in the Knights faction, and for a good long while he didn't really have much to his kit up until his rework along with Peacekeeper, Nebushi, and I think it was just Peacekeeper and Nebushi. And really, there are some reworks that I won't talk about too much, but honestly, Warden's is one of my favorites. Now, what I like a lot about his rework is how much pressure he has for being such a simple character. Much like Hitakiri, Warden is a very easy to pick up character. His moveset is pretty basic. It's very small, but with such a small kit, he has a lot of tools at his disposal. Now, his shoulder bash was you're able to dodge and feint the shoulder bash. You can't bag dodge anymore. That was something that he could do before, but that was removed. I believe he was also given side unblockables, if I remember correctly. And as of recently, I believe Warden was one of the characters as well. He also got a buff to his zone usage, so like he can do a few more zone attacks, because Warden was one of those characters where you actually needed to use his zone in order to be like really good in a lot of scenarios. And Warden, I feel like, is just very good. He's a lot of fun for a lot of people that main him. I know Havoc was very happy with his rework. I do like the I'm not going to be able to do it here, but the no you crushing counter punish is very nice. And Warden is a character that I might actually pick back up again because honestly he has some really good fashion. But that is Warden. What did you guys think of this? What do you guys think of his rework? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What is something you would add to it? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's Warden. 4, we have Nebushi. Now, Nebushi is a character that I personally am not a big fan of, but I cannot deny her pressure is actually very good. Now, one thing I don't actually see a lot of Nebushi players do is actually utilize the fact that she can actually chain her heavies into the kick. You know, I don't see many Nebushi players actually do that. A lot of times, what they'll do is this. And they'll like feint their heavies and whatnot and do all that kind of stuff. But when I was wrapping up a Nebushi, and this is actually after her rework and whatnot, I did actually have a lot of fun trying the different mix-ups, because one thing that you don't realize is actually what characters are able to do once you actually play them. Because Nebushi is one of those characters that I really am not a big fan of, but I will not deny the fact that her rework is really, really good. And there's a lot of things I would change personally. Like, I would rather her final light actually be, have the bleed attached. But that's just me personally. I'm not a big fan of bleed in this game, and Nebushi is one of the characters that very much showcases that. But Nebushi mains, you know, when this rework came in, it was very, very good for them. And you know what? I'm very much happy for you guys. You know what? I'm glad you guys really enjoyed this rework. Nebushi is a character that I feel like some people will actually want to go into the tank again, much like Warden. I don't know if I said that in the previous clip, but Warden is another character that a lot of people want to go back in again, and I think Nebushi could do with maybe a take 2 as well. Now, I don't know what you could really do with her. Her chain pressure is really, really good. Offense is really, really strong. Unless you can parry lights, you know, it's not gonna it's a hard time for a lot of people. But yeah, that is why Nebushi is number 4 on the list. What do you guys think of Nebushi's rework? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, number 3 is Centurion. Now, this guy just recently got a dodge attack, which flows, actually, I will admit, very well with his kit. Now, I don't recall all of what he got, but I do know he can actually feint his punch now, which was something that a lot of Centurion mains actually really wanted. I know the cutscene was basically removed, and in the most recent patch, he was given a dodge attack, a dodge light. Now, me personally, I would prefer a dodge heavy, because, as you know, my number 1 is a heavy class. But you know what? I will say this: Centurion is quite a decent character. Now, I personally don't like fighting him because a lot of Centurions, ever since Rework, doing a lot of this, and sometimes I'll even see something like this. But I will also not deny that when I'm the one playing Centurion, that is so satisfying. Like, oh my goodness. Also, I believe Feintable Zone was another thing that was given to him. Now, me personally, I don't know if he would really need more time in the can like the other two, but Cent is a character that is very much fun, very, very fun. I believe his hyper armor was also fixed up a little bit, where it comes out a lot sooner rather than later. But you know what? He's fun. He's fun. And you know, I know a lot of Cent mains. My brother E-Doublet and Merc, Modern Mercenary are two people that really enjoy Centurion. I don't, but you know what? I'm really happy for them, and I will not deny that for Centurion, his rework was very, very good. Now, what do you guys think of the dodge light? I actually kind of, again, like I already said, I wish it was a heavy. But what's also really cool is you can actually, I didn't realize this, but you can actually delay the Eagle's Talon there, I believe what it's called. And you know, that is why Centurion is number 3 on the list. What do you guys think of his rework? What do you think of the dodge light? Let me know in the comment section below. And let's get into the honorable mention. Okay, so here we are on the hero screen, and this is the only time you'll ever hear me call it that. Now, we're here to talk about the honorable mentions. Now, these are all the characters that did not make the list, and at this point, it will be obvious who my number 2 and number 1 are. But starting at the Knights, we have Peacekeeper. Now, I'm not going to go into gameplay, but I will admit, for Peacekeeper players, this rework was very, very good. Now, with the recent the recent patch, she was given a little bit more pressure, and you know, some stuff that was tweaked. Like, she had a 38 damage guard break punish, which even for a lot of PK mains that I have had the displeasure of talking to, just kidding, have all said that was pretty high, and a lot of people that don't like Peacekeeper also would say that was way too high, and I am one of those people. However, the rest of the rework, you know, unblockables after bleed, that's really, really good. Her kit is very, very nice. she's a very fast character, very strong, and me personally, I don't like the idea that assassins are very powerful characters. I feel like they should be able to dip in, dip out, and Peacekeeper actually does that. She dips in, gets a lot of damage, and then dips out, much like what I think all assassins should be. Now, Peacekeeper, I feel like could maybe do a couple more tweaks to make her easier to deal with for other people. Not so much that she's nerfed again, but make her easier to deal with for those that, especially new players, right? Because you don't want characters to be so hard to deal with that, you know, new players end up dropping the game altogether because they can't deal with this one assassin, right? But overall, Peacekeeper's rework is still very solid and very fun for the person that's playing, and that is why Peacekeeper has made it to the honorable mentions. Next one is going to be Gladiator. Now, this is a character that I kind of had a lot of fun with when I was getting the rep in. Now, Gladiator's rework is very solid. Now, if I remember correctly, I can't talk tonight. If I remember proper, I believe there was some changes made to Gladiator that made some chain flow just a little bit better. Now, I haven't tested it myself. I kind of just went off of off of memory here, but Gladiator is one of those characters that I feel personally gets away with way too much, but that's also due to the rework, which I will also say is very good for the character, and is also very fun to play from what I can remember. And much like Peacekeeper, Gladiator should be able to get in, get out, and that's pretty much it. Because again, assassin. Now why a Gladiator is an assassin? I have no idea. That really doesn't make much sense to me. But you know, it is what it is, right? Right. Now the next one, since we're in the Knights faction, Conqueror. Now Conqueror is a character that I myself never really liked. The only thing that's really good about Conqueror for myself, and you know, most people that don't like this character, is just psyched, right? You know, the Ra, as more people call it. But Conqueror, I will not deny that his chain flow is very good, and while I think he does a little too much with the unblockables and all that, I will not deny that I know the Conch mains are very happy with this rework. Now, I do remember him having an undodgeable heavy, and now it's just all unblockables, which is ridiculous. Nobody has unblockable after unblockable after unblockable, unless you're a brain-dead Hitakiri that's just throwing the same attacks out over and over again without much thought process or anything else. Now, that's pretty much it for the Knights faction. What do you guys think of the reworks that have come in for them so far? But now we're going to slide on over to the Vikings, and let's talk Mr. Raider. Now, Raider, honestly, he is in my second set of mains, but I haven't really played with him too much because, honestly, his rework is so strong. Like, oh my gosh, the amount of damage you're able to put out, the armor is really good. The as my brother would call it, the cream and pizza, which is also his Raiders, the unblockable zone attack that he has. The fact that you're able to use it more often is really good. The fact that it soft fades into the top light, the storming tap, as I believe it's what it's called, is really good. It's fun for the character, but not fun to deal with. Now, Raider is a character that I feel is very solid. Is a lot of fun to play, but not fun to deal with. Now, if the soft fade to the top unblockable was tweaked just a little bit to where you don't end up accidentally doing it, because I'll tell you what, I've accidentally done the top light so many times. I mean, so many times have I done that by accident, but if you could tweak that ever so slightly, I feel like that would make Raider all the more better. Now, actually, aside from Valkyrie, who is currently in the testing grounds, and honestly, the Valkyrie rework is really good, the only person to really get any kind of rework is actually Berserker, who got some quality of life changes, but not a full-on rework, and those quality of life changes make him a bit more of a menace now to deal with, and I know Night Stalker was very happy with that. And Highlander was also one of the characters to get a dodge attack along with Warlord. Both are really good. I question why a hybrid got a dodge heavy and not a actual heavy class character, as you can see on the left side of the screen here. But, you know, Warlord and Highlander getting dodged is actually really, really good. It opens up their kit a little bit more and allows them to actually have more of an offense than most. Same thing could be said with Ganther. Now, she will be getting a rework next season. They want to take a little bit more time to actually work on it and actually make it as best as it could be. Now, I actually like the dodge light for Jormungandr. I actually think it's really, really good. Unlike for Warlord, who I feel like, in my experience, it should be a dodge heavy. I'm actually completely fine with it being a dodge light for Yorm, because that leads straight into her undodgeable heavy. So if if people are trying to get away, then it's going to be hard to do that, because all she needs is another light, which then leads into the bash, and then there it is there. Now, moving over to the samurai, we have Shigoki. Now, Shigoki is also another character that is really hard to deal with, but I will not deny that he was fun to actually get the rep in. The hug from back being remapped was really, really good. I'm not a big fan of bashes doing damage, much like with Warmonger here, but honestly, for Shigoki, I think it works. I think it works for what he has. Now, I believe Shigoki was also a character that had a zone attack tweak in the newest patch. I did actually check it out earlier today. I don't have the gameplay footage anymore, but it was quite fun. It was interesting, and Shigoki's kit is a little bit better now, and I know the Shugo mans are very, very happy. Moving over to Orochi, a character that I personally do not like, but I will not deny that his rework was also very, very good. The light pressure, or the player anyway, is very, very, very good. You know what, I actually do like that he can forward step into his I think it's Riptide Strike. I forget what it's called, but the little stance that he does, right? The little stance where he has his sword in an underhand stance, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But Orochi is an interesting character, and I know the Orochi mains are actually really, really good. I still stand by the fact that there's only 3 good Orochis, and one of them being No King, another one being Faram, and the third is actually Havoc. Now, I don't really follow many Orochi mains, just those 3. But Orochi is a very solid character for those that enjoy him, and his rework was really, really good. I still don't know why he needs a forward kick, but the kick does open up opponents and makes it a lot easier to get that damage in. So, like with the other 2, I feel like he should definitely be able to dodge in, dodge out, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Same thing with actually Shinobi, as we just seamlessly go right back in, right? So, Shinobi is a character that I feel, out of all the assassins in the game, this guy is the biggest pain to deal with as far as fighting him is concerned, but as far as playing with him is concerned, I got the chance to actually do so earlier today, and it was great. Shinobi, when you're the one playing Shinobi, he is fun to play, but he's impossible to really deal with unless you really play on the defensive, or if you're playing as Aramusha. Now, Aramusha is one of my big 5, and Aramusha is a character that I very much enjoy. His rework's very solid. I love that everything kind of flows into his blade blockade. It's really, really good. It's very, very strong, and I'm a big fan. I am very much a big fan, and you know what? I feel like Aramusha is a solid character. I don't play him as much anymore, because honestly, I'm having so much fun with the other 2 mains. 2 of my other mains that got reworks, and Aramusha is still present. I do play him pretty often, but not as much as I used to. But Aramusha still is a lot of fun, and for me, is a character that I feel like is a little bit too technical for new players. But once you get about to mid-tier and you start understanding all guards, Aramusha is definitely the character for you. Now, the final honorable mention is actually Zanhu. And behold, my newest drip. I'm still working on it. I'm going to get a different blade going, but Zanhu's rework. You know what? I remember when this character was being promoted. They were saying that, oh, this character is limitless. Now, I said in the Rep 60 video, I believe, that Zanhu is a character that rather than being limitless, she was limited, and with the rework, I feel like that was how she should have been released. But this rework is really, really good. Now with the newest patch, there were a lot. Jhin, who is now able to do 4 zones without the assistance of Nukabuki or fast recovery. It's 4 zones rather than 3. That one additional zone is actually very, very helpful. I have tried it out in duels and in brawls. It's very, very good. Jhin is still a very, very strong character. And when the CCU came in, I remember way back when Warmonger was introduced, the CCU came in, Jhin became one of my most powerful mains just because of how much faster her attacks were, and that remains to be, well, it remains. And Jhin is a very much great character, fun for anyone who wants to try dodge recovery characters, and that is the final character in the honorable mentions. Now let's go to our final 2. You know what? And this is actually much later, and oh my goodness, I almost forgot. JJ. Yeah, this guy. The old grandpa himself. Mr. Zhang. He also got a very, very nice rework. And you know what? I dig it. I dig it a lot. You know, being able to use an unblockable out of Sifu stance, really, really good. And everything else that he got, it's really, really good. I actually might want to play this character a little bit more just because he's actually fun. The Sifu stance is really, really good. And, you know, being able to throw out a heavy, well, actually getting an actual heavy after a guard break was really, really good. This the shin kick after, you know, forward GB is very, very nice as well. This rework was also really, really good, but you know, for me personally, there are 2 more that trump this one just a wee bit. All right, number 2 is Hitakiri. Now, it was actually a very much an easy choice. Now, I wanted to put Hitakiri at number 1. I really did. But honestly, her rework, while some stuff it's not as massive as others, I do really, really like Hito's rework. Now, the dodge attack, while it was controversial at the time, I actually really like that she has a dodge attack. I really like that it flows so much into the rest of her kit. And with the recent big patch, she was given lesser stamina consumption on her unblockable heavies. You know, this guy. You know, it now takes 12 stamina, so you were able to do, I think it was, I counted them in the live stream. I believe it was like 12 or 13 unblockable attacks, which no Hito in their right mind is just going to just stand here and just throw out constant unblockables. No one's going to do that. Unless you're like a day 1 Hitakiri and you know for a fact that it always tracks and you're fighting a bunch of people that don't know how to parry. But Hito's rework is very, very solid, and you know what? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. I do like it. Now, I'd already maxed out Hitakiri when her rework came in. You know, I was already rep 70 with her. And, you know, getting it into the rework stuff was a learning curve. You know, I feel like I was day 1 Hitakiri again. You know, I'm relearning what she's capable of doing and how much her kit has changed and updated thanks to the rework. But Hitakiri is still a lot of fun, and she is the perfect character to introduce new players to heavies. So if you're coming from like a Vanguard or a Hybrid or even the Assassins, Hitakiri is a character that I very much recommend. Her kit is small, but it is very much an easy to understand and easy to pick up kit, and her armor is really, really good, and just the style overall is quite nice. And that is why Hitakiri is number 2 on the list. The number 1 pick for Reworks is actually none other than the Bow Staff Man himself, Mr. Shaolin. Now, oh my gosh. Now, Shaolin is one of like 2 or 3 characters I actually made a video on how I would want to rework this character. And to this day, one of my favorite reactions that I've ever filmed is actually for Mr. Shaolin. Now that video actually did very, very well, and I'm actually quite proud of it. Now, since I have him on screen right here, Mr. Tiandi is a character that I did not mention. His rework is actually very, very solid, but I'm not going to really spend too much time talking about it, as this is not a Tiandi video. this is for literally everyone else that has already gotten reworks in the game. Now, Shaolin actually had a lot of stuff brought in as far as, new things. His key stance has better flow, his zone is now different, his top unblockable is now undodgeable, which I personally didn't like at first, but now that I really think about it, nobody really expects Shaolin to actually throw out the top undodgeable, zone attack. And I love that you can feint the sweep now. That's really, really good, as you can see here. Come on. I love that everything flows into key stance. That's something that a lot of Shaolin players have been saying for a long time. I was saying it, and a lot of rework videos are all like, "Hey yo, being able to dodge out of key stance and all that lovely stuff." This right here. Honestly, if they had just done that, like this, if that was all they did, dodge out of key stance. If that was all they did, I would have been satisfied. But no, they did a whole lot more. And Shaolin is still very much a fun character that I actually ended up putting down for a good while. Because, well, you know what? Because his kit was so technical and so difficult to understand, even for me as a Shaolin main. There was a lot of stuff I was unable to do. But with the rework, the triple poke being accessible and not on a strict timing is actually really, really good. The forward kick, which I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but it does open the people up a little bit more. And Shaolin is able to gain access to the rest of his kit very, very easily through this. And also the new zone attack animation, it did take some time to get used to, but honestly, I do like it. I like that you can feint it at any point. I believe you can... Actually, I ran out of stamina. But I do like that you can feint the zone. That's really good. Much like with Centurion, that's really good. And you know what? I just really like Shaolin's rework. I think it's a lot of fun. And I definitely recommend this character for anyone who wants to understand a reflex guard. If you're not sure about playing an assassin, get this character. Try out this character. He is a hybrid with reflex guard for some reason. Now, I still say that he shouldn't have it, as he is a hybrid, but Shaolin has, for me anyway, non-bias. This is basically me basing it on reaction and my personal opinion here a little bit. But Shaolin has the best rework in the game, and not many have been able to match what he has now. But let me know in the comment section below, guys. That is going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy what is out of everyone's rework that is into the game so far. So not counting Valkyrie, not counting Mr. Tiandi here, but who has your favorite rework? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys did enjoy this video, you know what to do already. And my friends, fight with honor, be excellent to each other, and lovely seeing you all next time. Have a good one.